NRLW on Fox, delivered by KFC from one game straight to the other. We're at Queensland Country Bank Stadium. As Ben mentioned, Cowboys at home to Lauren Brown and the Titans. Nick Morrell is our referee. Game 2, round 4, NRLW kickoff in Townsville. And it goes straight to Brown, who brings Jessica Elliston onto the ball. Matt Russell alongside Corbin Baxter, Sammy Bremner as well. The Titans with the first possession. Sammy, you might take us through the big team news for the Titans.
Yeah, there is some big team news for the Titans today. We have 2 debutants that are their first game in the NRLW, which is super exciting. In the centres, Leilani Montgomery will be making her first game today, and Matakino Gray will be coming off the bench for the Titans. Already super strong side. We'll be able to see a new skill set with these 2 girls playing today.
Georgia Hale has been a constant for them this season. Their captain through the middle, Marnie Politi. Huge numbers in the one and only meeting between these 2 clubs at NRLW level. More on her stats as the game unfolds, but Lauren Brown completes the opening set. It's a torpedo bomb high above Queensland Country Bank Stadium. A problem for the Cowboys straight away. And Jamie Chapman, I think, has knocked the ball on. What an opening set for the Titans, and an opportunity at the end of it.
Oh, Lauren Brown's kicking game is always at its best, but that torpedo, you would be so scared. And Crystal Blackwell being underneath that, trying to catch that one.
Rolling through at this point.
The bounce, a horror for Crystal Blackwell. Under pressure
here.
The
players are outside 10. And Jamie Chapman knocks the ball on in the in goal. We have a decision.
The voice of Wyatt Raymond in the bunker. The Cowboys breathe a sigh of relief. What a close call for the Titans in terms of their quest to score the first try.
Yeah, great kick there from Lauren Brown. I think if Crystal Blackwell had her time again, she'd want to catch that one on the full. But I know it's really scary when those big bombs are up there and you're under it and there's sun in your eyes. So they're very, very lucky there.
It's one thing having a torpedo kicked at you, but when Jamie Chapman's also running at you, we feel your pain, Crystal.
I'm looking forward to tapping into your expertise, both of you. Fullbacks this year. Corbin back for season 2025 after that knee reconstruction. And Sammy Bremner will see you in action tomorrow in Wollongong. Dragons hosting your Roosters. But for the time being, here's the Cowboys in possession. A try scorer for them last week, China Palata. North Queensland off a loss to Parramatta. It came at Totally Workwear Stadium in Brisbane. High contact there, and it's called. Jess Elliston just creeping up on Bree Chester. So the opening penalty of the game goes to the home side. Yes, North Queensland beaten 20-6 last week. So they come into this game 1 win, 2 losses. Kira Dibb, a leader of this team, will be keen to get back to the form they've showed us at home over the last 18 months.
Yeah, I think both teams today will have a bit of a point to prove, conceding a lot of points last week, both Titans versus the Broncos and the Cowboys' team versus the Eels. So this is going to be a really good game. Both have something to prove, I feel.
So North Queensland in good position here. They lost all 3 home games last year and won a high-scoring one in Townsville against the Dragons a couple of weeks ago. Determined run by Palata. Shut down eventually by the competition's leading tackler, Georgia Hale. Here's Bree Chester. Both sides of the field still open to Emma Manzelman, who jumps into dummy half. Dibb, quick hands to Lula Tillett. It goes through Peters, opening up for Libby Surha. She has a crack at the line, and desperate defence from the Titans drives her towards touch. So both sides have a chance with their early sets.
Yeah, really good ball movement here from the Cowboys. Surha trying to get over the line there, but that Titans defence just working for each other and doing a really good job of protecting their line. So really good starting defence from the Titans.
What about the strength from Ivania Politi, holding them up and then getting the teammates around to finish off the tackle?
There were plenty of tacklers there, but put it down, you're right, Sammy Bremner. Ivania Politi. She grabbed hold of Surha and didn't let her get to ground. A great try-scoring opportunity stopped only by Ivania Politi. Shannon Martor averaging about 150 run metres per game. She gives the Titans great go forward, and there's an indication of her intentions today. Post-contact metres galore, backed up by Jess Elliston. And Brayley Narty sends it to her right. Strong defence coming in from Jakaya Whitfield. On Fui Mayono. Here's Lauren Brown with a kick. This one more regulation, end over end, taken by Goldthorpe. And Goldthorpe can't get away from Leilani Montgomery. There she is, the debutante in number 4, but a penalty goes to the Cowboys. It has been a feature of the opening weekend. So many newcomers to NRLW. You touched on it, Sam. Leilani Montgomery and later Matakino Gray off the bench. 2 first-timers for the Titans this afternoon.
Yeah, it's exciting, and I think it just goes to show the depth in the NRLW at the moment. You know, when there's spots to be filled, many of these teams have plenty of depth coming up from the Tasha Gale competition in New South Wales, and there's also plenty in Queensland as well. So, you know, that's a credit to the NRLW expansion and how it's going so far.
With 2 more teams coming next year, Canterbury and the returning Warriors. From 10 to 12 teams. Manzelmann finding Lily Peacock, wearing 15, but starting like she did last week. Part of every game so far this season, Lily. S.A. Barnu, not averaging big minutes yet, just 25 per game to start the season, but she has had a big impact with a couple of the carries in earlier games. Now Chester, catch and pass, middle of the field for Tillett. Had some delightful ball playing last week. Not enough to get the Cowboys home against the Eels. Here's Dibb kicking across the face of goal, making it an aerial contest. In the air, it's taken and slammed down by Fran Goldthorpe. Congratulated by Whitfield. Nick Morrell says that's a try. The kick and the take working perfectly for the Cowboys.
Yeah, pinpoint kick there from Kira Dibb. It's one of the biggest assets of her game. She knows where to place those, and she placed that one perfectly for her winger, Fran Goldthorpe, who had some work to do. You know, had the other winger there challenging as well, but she got up. She did a really good job. I thought maybe she bounced the ball a little bit, but we'll see here. Maybe she just put it down so hard. Let's have a look.
How could you doubt it? How could you doubt it, Corbin? Perfect
nice
from Fran
little slam
Goldthorpe.
dunk. Yeah, you're right there, Corby, and it's so good to see. I love when we see the wingers and the centres and the fullbacks in the game contest the kick. There's a lot of, I guess, not much confidence sometimes when it comes to those high kicks. In order to score a try, you need to contest it, and I love that Fran Goldthorpe really went for that then, and it's always a 50-50 chance, and it really paid off for her today. Yeah, absolutely. I think sometimes the mindset is I'll wait for the other player to make a mistake, but I love when they've got the mindset, I'm going to get up, I'm going to contest this, and she's earned her team a 4-pointer. How good.
Here's the lady who set it up for her, Kira Dibb. A fantastic boot, tough conversion attempt to start, and she drags it to the left, but Fran Goldthorpe, also a talented cricketer. She came through the footy ranks as a rugby union player, went to rugby league, a former Leeds Rhino, and she'll hope to be in Vegas with the England Lionesses next year to tackle the Gillaroos. Why not with form like this?
Absolutely, and as I said last week, Maddie, I'll be there as a part of the social committee in Las Vegas, and I'll be keeping a close eye on Fran Goldthorpe. But no, she was one of the strongest players in the last World Cup that we happened to play against. She's a fullback, a centre, a winger. She's a very versatile player, and you could see, like Corby said, she had a bit of work to do there, but she was strong enough to get over the line.
Just 21 years of age, a long rugby league future ahead of her if she desires. The England representative, the restart from Gold Coast. And here's Libby Surha. These teams met round 1 last year, their one and only meeting prior to today. Here's S.A. Barnu. It was a win for Gold Coast, 16-6. Politi, Canfield, Minor Sinapati, the try scorers on that occasion, 16-6 to the Titans. What adjustments have the Cowboys made now under Ricky Henry to counter last year's grand finalists in the Gold Coast. The inside ball finding Chester, and another penalty.
hips, and then you come round and you're over the ball. It's a second effort back to the ball.
There's the explanation from the referee.
Riley Jorgensen tends to be a bit of a culprit at giving a penalty away, but I think it comes from the role that she plays for the Titans. She comes in here with, I think, the role of trying to ruffle some feathers in the opposition, and she always does such a good job, and unfortunately it means giving away a penalty every now and then, but she's very, very good at ruffling those feathers and really getting into their heads. Somebody you hate to play against but love to play with.
Warm conditions in Townsville, a forecast top of 27 degrees, humidity around 80%. We will play the 35-minute halves uninterrupted, but there are extra water carriers for both teams, so testing conditions. Ricky Henry giving his team a real freshen up this week after the game in Brisbane, some travel and a relatively short turnaround. Breachester has it. They're looking to score the first 2 tries of the games, North Queensland, to balance their season at 2-2. Manzelmann for Tillett. And dropping underneath, China Palata just straightening up play. Dib again. The flat ball for Tiana Ralphstrand-Smith, one of the former Titans in this North Queensland team. Tiana off the bench. Tataya Faifua will come on as a former Titan, and Jasmine Peters. So 3 former Gold Coast players hope to inflict some pain on their ex-club. But Ivania Politi has the ball, and Gold Coast will try to come out of trouble here.
Just on those conditions you mentioned just earlier, Maddie, I think in a game of rugby league it's super important to build pressure, but we just seen a last play option from Kira Dib there, which is not ideal on the last play to be tackled. And I think with those conditions, really, really hot, you want to be turning that ball in the in-goal area and getting the ball back and making them defend back to back to back in these conditions, really, really tire them out, and then I think the work will be a lot easier to get through. So I think just from a game management point of view, can really get to that kick. It'll make a difference today in this heat.
Lillian Yarrow warming up sideline. The completion high and well taken, Crystal Blackwell. She found herself in an awkward position. I'll come to you two. Was that a good catch? It looked it through my eyes.
Yeah, that was a great catch. Lauren Brown obviously has a really good boot, and she's putting up some really ugly kicks there, and I think Crystal Blackwell's handling it really well so far. Obviously with that sun beaming down their eyes, it's really hard to keep an eye on the ball. You lose it, and you just got to back yourself and get in a position to catch that ball. So she's doing really well so far.
Yeah, for sure. I agree. Your first catch after your first error is super important to build your confidence back up. So unbelievable from her.
Just repeating, a couple of Roosters fullbacks beside me. Corbin backs to Sammy Bremner. As we look at Tallulah Tillett, put boot to ball again, this time out towards a wing where it's taken by Emily Bass. Already a try scorer this season. And she's ridden into the ground by Peacock. Those Dragons halves will have a few torpedo bombs waiting for you tomorrow, Sammy B.
Oh, beautiful. Beautiful. I've had my 3-year-old kicking them all week for me. I'm good.
Out of dummy half, Leilani Montgomery. You got a bit of background on Leilani, Corbin?
Yeah, Lani is actually a Roosters junior. She played with Tasha Gale last year, and I think the last 2 years actually. So she is actually in the halves generally, and she finds herself in the centres today, but I've already seen her sort of get her hands on the ball and move it around a little bit. So she's found her presence early in the game.
Yes, mate.
Penalty in favour of Gold Coast.
Just on those torpedo kicks, I know we'll just
2 sets ago.
I just know we're quickly mentioning, but how cool that we see them in the girls' game now. Like when I first started playing, the kicking game was probably the weakest, I would say, out of what we could do in NRLW. But now girls kicking torpedoes, golden point, kicking field goals, like all this sort of thing. Awesome to see.
I'll come back to that in a moment after this attacking set from the Titans. I want to know what's created this improvement, but we'll stay with Gold Coast through Brittany Brayley-Narty. Georgie Hale goes on for Martor. Lauren Brown from 10 out. And it was Shaylee Bent straight and hard. Tillett was waiting, assisted by Palata. Hale just showed it for Martor. Took the run herself. and took the tackle in front of the sticks. Poor pass for Montgomery, scooped up by Riley Jorgensen, who tries the bulldozer approach straight into Manzelmann. Last play now. There's that halfback inside. Oh, beautiful. Creating for Georgia Gray. It's Leilani Montgomery playing in the centres, a halves background, and she shows us that skill. The debutante has a try assist as Gray goes over in the corner.
It actually looks like Leilani is playing the halves. I noticed Talia Fumano is outside her in that centre position. So, yeah, having that halves background, she's put this kick through perfectly for her winger, Georgia Gray. What a great work. What a great try assist from this young debutante.
Yeah, you see here on the Harvey Norman replay, what a great kick it is. At the very least, that is a perfect kick for a repeat set, as we were talking about earlier. But great kick, great chase, and I love the thought of Talia Fuimaono being out in the centres. One of the strongest defensive footballers in the NRLW. So super exciting that we've got a new half in the Titans today, and also Fui going back to the centres.
Leilani Montgomery in her first game, kicking for Georgia Gray in her first season, and she has her first try.
Doesn't get much better than that, does it?
They're coming to NRLW. Well done, Georgia, after Leilani put her stamp on the play as well. Lauren Brown can't convert, so it's one try each after the Georgia Gray try. A former Manly Mermaid Rugby Union player, went to Bond University and played with the Bull Sharks rugby team in recent years. But here she is, the 19-year-old. Her debut season, Titan number 43, provided by Leilani Montgomery. Still a whole lot of action to come in round 4 of NRLW. Tomorrow, 3 games starting at Wynn Stadium in Wollongong. St George Illawarra against the Roosters. Both teams off victory last weekend. Cronulla against Newcastle. And then tomorrow night, the Sunday evening game, West Tigers against Parramatta. Round 4 of 9 before semi-finals and then the grand final as part of NRL Grand Final Day.
Let it go. Square Harada.
Good carry again from Martor. Now Georgia Hale settling into their play now, the Gold Coast. After North Queensland scored the first try of this game. Here's Bent.
Together now, Bree and China. Square. Wait.
Gold Coast off their biggest loss in their 4-year history of NRLW. Barney Paulides trying to improve on that.
Hands, let it go.
44-4. They were beaten by the Broncos last week. As Brown goes high, out towards the wing, coming through, jumping for the ball. Chapman leaves it behind. In fact, she's knocked it on. Libby Surha picked the ball up. They'll change it over instead.
Yeah, it's a very clear game plan, and I'm actually a big fan of it. The sun is obviously out and about today, and just kicking so that the girls in the Cowboys are looking right into the sun and just contesting it every single time, and it's definitely working and hasn't paid off right now, but I think a great game plan to stick with, and I think they'll see some joy if they stay with that.
Peters has the first carry. Backed up now by Goldthorpe, the try scorer for North Queensland. Jakaya Whitfield. Her tackle busts, a feature of her play. She has 18 coming into this game today, top 5 in the league. Hanselman to Chester. Now Dibb sets herself, goes really high, across the ground slightly, but the catch is a good one from Gray. Now Emily Bass. Fuimaono Mayono runs into a shot and it's been called high. You heard the contact through the effects. It was Lillian Yarrow racing in, a big thud and bouncing straight back to her feet. She's all right, Talia Fui-Mayono, just a little high.
Yeah, a little bit high there. I think it was actually Hadata Butler that put that shot on. She is full of aggression. That's what she's out there for, to inflict some pain with her defence and her hard carries, but just got that one a little bit wrong.
So Gold Coast approaching the back end of this first half. One try each, Riley Jorgensen.
Lily off grip, and square. Front foot and hold, hold.
Now the carry from Jess Elliston.
Join her off the shoulder. Square to Lula. Hold, hold.
Lauren Brown shows it inside, goes to Chapman. Chapman trying to pull away from Peters, but she skids into the in goal. The power play from Jamie Chapman could not be defended despite North Queensland's best efforts.
I think we're going to see here on the Harvey Norman replay just how dangerous Jamie Chapman can be, and I'm not talking about creating an overlap for Jamie Chapman. A one-on-one is just as good as an overlap. It's 2-on-2 here, so you just man up and make the tackles, but quite literally the Cowboys defender jumps on Jamie Chapman's back in hope to pull her down, but she is way too strong and powerful. A nice little fend here to get over the line and fights to get the ball on the ground for the 4 points. She does so well. When the Titans seem to be in times of struggle, they look for Chapman. They look for Chapman to score the points. So, you know, Cowboys did the right thing there defensively, but just someone hard to handle.
You're so right, Sammy. Jamie Chapman anywhere within that 10 metres is really hard to stop. Jasmine Peters tried, but she's just too quick, too strong, and that combination between Lauren Brown and Jamie Chapman is just so lethal.
Checking grounding.
What do you reckon, Corbs? I think the grounding looked pretty good to me.
I think it looked good. I think there was a little bobble in this, seeing if she lost contact.
Cleared all aspects of play in the lead up. As you can see here, the left arm of Jamie Chapman comes away from the ball and the ball contacts the arm of the defender. This constitutes a knock-on. We have a decision.
Oh.
So close, yet a slip at the end from Jamie Chapman. And it's a good pick up from you, Corbin Baxter. Just some homework here. Lillian Yarrow was listed to play in 18. There's a late swap by North Queensland without anyone being informed. Harata Butler is playing in jersey 18. So just a correction there. Might be a little breach notice coming North Queensland's way in that regard. But there is great to see Harata Butler playing her second game of the season. Not in 23 as listed, but in 18. A late swap.
So we've had two knock-ons over the line from the Titans and Jamie Chapman. Very close calls though. So you get the feel to where they're going to go, and something's building. I don't think it's going to be the last that Jamie Chapman gets the ball. Certainly not close to the line.
No, you're so right. It's just, that's their strike edge, and that's where they find most of their points. But it's great to see, you know, the other edge getting some points on the board. And I love, as we mentioned before, Fui-Mayono in that centre, because she's so diverse as a player, and Leilani in there as well in the halves. I think that's a good little combo that we might see a bit more of today too.
Now bursting through, Lily Peacock off the back of a strong run from Tiana Rathstrand-Smith.
I understand. I think it's high contact. It's the same as your one over there. There might be some falling, but it's still high.
He speaks beautifully. I feel like, you know, if me and my husband had a chat about the problems, that is how I would like him to speak.
Nick
I
Morrell.
understand.
You want Brem to take a leaf out of Nick's book.
You know what? Brem just smiles and nods to me.
Smart man.
Yeah, he's smart.
So a penalty goes to North Queensland. The Cowboys back on the attack. Firstly, it was a carry from Rathstrand-Smith, backed up by Peacock. Then the penalty, and here they are. Tallulah Tillett from 10 metres out. Great tackle. Lauren Brown. Now Tillett, flat, Peters. I think it was China Palata who had eyes for the line. Brown chopped her down. Manzelmann. On there now, Talisha Harden. Sarika Muka, and there's the call. You heard it. The sideline official shouting forward. It's been heard by Nick Morrell, and play breaks down for the Cowboys.
I think the Cowboys were looking pretty good then. They looked like they were trying to build a little bit.
What a stop.
Great tackle, Lauren Brown. Yeah, the Titans' edge defence looked good there. Cowboys did a good job taking on the short side, then just staying patient through the middle, but just got that pass wrong out of dummy half. Unfortunate because they were looking really lethal.
A breather for Riley Jorgensen. The pink headgear removed. One try each so far. The first to Fran Goldthorpe, backed up by Gold Coast through Georgia Gray. 4-all, completions tidy early in this game, despite some testing conditions. Temperature creeping up around or towards 30 degrees. High humidity, and now another penalty. Sarika Muka called for the flop.
30 degrees, both teams certainly have still got a lot of energy. It's been a great game so far, a lot of back and forth, which is what we all love about rugby league, that back and forth football, grinding out the game, working hard to get some points on the board, but both teams have been relentless. It's just who's willing to work hard and who's going to give up first.
Yeah, and I think this Titans forward pack are doing a really good job at leading the pack. Shannon Martor and Jessica Alliston, they're known for being fit. They're known for eating up the meters. I think they're leading the meters, 63 for Martor and 65 for Elliston. They're just doing a great job of getting their team up the field, and then Lauren Brown and Jamie Chapman just playing good footy off the back of it. It's really working for them. They're already up there on play 2.
Yeah, Chapman 5 metres from the line on the back of good go forward. Martor, Elliston, here's Shannon again. Playing big minutes too. Shannon Martor averaging 60, Jess Elliston 55. Brittany Brayley-Narty goes to Georgia Hale, who's held just in front of the posts, has a second crack, and is forced back by Peacock. The grubber in behind the line, and kicking it over the dead ball line is Jakaya Whitfeld.
Wow, what a great set from the Titans. Everyone working hard and doing their roles. Brittany Brayley comes out of dummy half in the Harvey Norman replay here, and a perfect little kick, a little grubber in the in goal to build that pressure. 30 degrees, we want to build as much pressure as they can to make the Cowboys turn around and defend yet another set.
Congratulations to Karen Murphy, one of the women inducted into the NRL Hall of Fame this week. More on that in a moment as Chapman goes straight back inside the 20. And she's copped a knock.
Time's out, time's out.
So Jamie Chapman will be given some time here.
Are you okay? Just wait, time's out.
He said, are you okay? This is outstanding. What a nice guy.
Lauren Brown for Shannon Martor. Straight into Sarika Muka. The offload. Back for Brayley-Narty. Now winding up. It's a strong charge. Well handled. Danny Parisi. Montgomery just keeps it short. Matakino Gray making her NRLW debut. Brayley-Narty, Hale, and waiting for it, Martor pushed the offload and knocking it on in the process.
Yeah, you could feel the Titans getting close to scoring some points there, but that's the error that is very common when you can feel the points coming. It's that white line fever that we all talk about, just pushing a pass that we probably shouldn't have in the Titans there in Shannon Martor.
Yeah, just a bit of discipline there, hey, Sammy. I think both teams are doing a really good job getting up the field, but just those last couple tackles, just staying patient and making sure they get to their last tackle and icing it off.
Gold Coast coach Karen Murphy, a Gillaroos captain, and along with Nat Dwyer, Katrina Fanning, Tasha Gale, Veronica White, Karen Murphy, of course Tani Norris, the inductees into the NRL Hall of Fame. The first batch of women into the Hall of Fame. Fantastic. A couple of future Hall of Famers on screen there as well.
Who would have thought? Like, we were talking about the evolution of the game earlier, but now even having players in the Hall of Fame, for it to have been going that long, that we now have inducted players into the Hall of Fame is awesome.
Here, as Harden plays the ball last here for the Cowboys. Dib goes high, waiting underneath it, Paliti. She loses the ball. It's still on the ground, fallen on by Gray, but North Queensland will get good ball here.
Yeah, I'm loving the kicking game from both sevens. I think they're doing a really good job putting a lot of pressure on the fullbacks. And just as good as the kick was the kick chase. Jakai Whitfield there, right on Varney, applying all the pressure and earning her team a ball right in the 10-metre line.
Kira Dib, Lauren Brown, the opposing number sevens.
Wouldn't that be a fun game of kick tennis, those two against each other?
Break.
So Kira feeds the scrum. Manzelman goes to Tallulah Tillett, dummies, and she's pulled the ground by Shaylee Bent. Paliti assists defensively. Palata. Held by Hale and Parisi. Harden on for Dib. Dib now finding Blackwell, and her ball's been put down by Goldthorpe. So an error lets Gold Coast off the hook.
It certainly does. It's the same as what we've seen 5 minutes ago whilst attacking their line. And we seen the same thing last week when they played. They know how to get down the other end of their field. They get to their kicks, but at times when they don't get to their kicks and they're trying to score some points, they really fail to do that. I don't know. What do you think, Corbs? Like, what is it?
Yeah, I don't know. I think I guess they're playing what they see in front of them, and it's hard to balance between what should I go for, a repeat set, or should we go for the try? So I guess it's just, making the right decisions. And as a footy player, that could be really hard. Sometimes it comes off, sometimes it doesn't. But just going for the high probability of success plays, and yeah, that one just unfortunately not coming off.
Chapman pushes the pass after the quick tap and go from Lauren Brown, and she's frustrated with herself. Jamie Chapman. Jess Elliston about to come on after a short breather. They received a penalty, but then were a bit too frantic here. Gold Coast Titans, and Tallulah Tillett getting an arm in the way.
Yeah, I think it's really important to be a bit more disciplined from both teams. It's 4 all with the penalty count, but you don't want to give up extra metres. It's already hard enough to try and defend, and giving up extra metres in this heat and a tough game at 4 all so far is something that you really want to try and prevent. So a little bit more discipline in this game from both teams, I think will help them out effort-wise.
Strong carry from Sarika Muka. Here's Talisha Harden. Dib.
Oh,
Beautiful ball. Whitfield pulls away. Her plait was tugged on, but Jakaya Whitfield freed herself and goes in to score. Try number 3 of the season for this tackle-busting centre.
that was beautiful. Jakaya Whitfield is one of my favourite players to be watching this NRLW season and last NRLW season, but it's the playmaker Kira Dib with a little no-look pass to Jakaya Whitfield, who changes the angle on this Harvey Norman replay of which she runs. So we see a nice little short ball, runs to an overs line, so he's running straight at Jamie Chapman and changes last minute to get over the try line to defeat that little hair tug, no problemo.
Yeah,
isn't she a weapon?
Oh, she's an absolute weapon, and she runs a really nice cold line there. I love seeing Kira Dib. That's some really classy play there. She looked out the back, threw the no-look to Jakaya running that lead line, and just that little bit of deception just created a little bit of space for Jakaya to get on the outside of her opposing centre. And yeah, really good work at making the most of that opportunity. It came down to ill discipline from the Titans, trying to throw an offload. Kira with her kicking game gets them down the field, and they just play off the back of it and provide some really good footy.
And Leilani Montgomery, the centre for the Titans, realised she had a handful of hair and had to let go. And the try came as a result. Kira Dib adds the extras, 10-0 North Queensland. Ricky Henry liked it. Jakaya Whitfield loves it. It was accidental from Montgomery. As soon as she realised, hang on, I can't do this, it was a case of allow the try or keep holding on.
Yeah, that's a tough thing to do in that split second when you know, I can't be holding her hair here, but she's going to score a try. Obviously not enough time for her to comprehend that the 4 points is 1 second away, but Corbs, what do you do there? You letting go of that ponytail or not?
I'd like to think I would. You can see there Lani's face as soon as you realise she let go.
Oh,
but
you're a good egg. I'm doubling down.
Oh, gosh, yeah, it is a hard one. In the girls' game, there's hair flying over, and when you're as fast as Jakai, you think you've got the back of her shirt, but it's her ponytail. So
yeah, we do see a lot of it.
There's a lot more hair to grab than in the men's game. Jakaya Whitfield, a Dally M winger of the year last season. She also had tackle of the year at North Queensland for that fantastic stop on a runaway Isabel Kelly. 2023 was a big year for Jakaya Whitfield. Played for the Prime Minister's team. Made her Gillaroos debut as well in that loss to New Zealand. And she signed at the Cowboys until the end of 2026. They realise they've got a good one in Jakaya Whitfield. I remember that game against the Tigers where she ran for nearly 300 metres. She's got game, Jakaya Whitfield, and she's a try scorer today as North Queensland go to the lead. Now Manzelmann threads her way through. What a run, Emma Manzelmann, the first signing by North Queensland, and an offload at the end of it. Falling into their rhythm now with the Titans backpedaling. Tillett to her outside, Peters comes inside, Pilata, and they'll change it over. Well, that was a flat finish to a really strong set from the Cowboys.
Yeah, it is. A little bit disappointing. Emma Manzelmann made a really great break, such a classy hooker, and just as soon as she sees a little bit of space behind the ruck, she takes it on and even got the offload away, so really good stuff. But I think off the back of that, Tallulah Tillett just putting on the toe, driving in the corner, and some good kick chase would have been a better into that set.
Manzelmann, a danger out of dummy half as Emily Bass comes forward. She scored 3 tries in round 1 against St George Illawarra, that 18-10 win for the Titans. Parisi, strong, powering over halfway. And Manzelmann eventually completes the tackle. Now Elliston. They won their first 2 games against the Dragons and the Tigers before that big loss, that 40-point defeat against Brisbane last week. Brown goes high, out to Surha, good catch. And Libby is stopped on the spot by Jamie Chapman. Tillett gives the carry for Peters, that's a tough one. No support around Jasmine, she had to go it alone. Now Whitfield. Jasmine Peters a little worse for wear after that tackle. Now Crystal Blackwell into Talia Fuimaono. Peters disappearing beneath a couple of Titans forwards. Here's Sarika Muka. In fact, it's Esse Banu back out there. So the last play still well their own side of halfway. A good defensive set for the Titans. The kick goes down to Bass on the full. The long ball to Politi, and now the counter-attack. Enterprising here from the Titans, Politi. You know, last time these teams played, the only previous time they've played, she had 18 tackle busts, Vani Politi. It's still an NRLW record. 18 in the one game. Round 1 last year against the Cowboys.
I'm not surprised. She just is so strong, such a strong runner, and breaks the line so often. I think she leads a lot of stats in the NRLW.
And now a penalty goes to the Titans.
It's dangerous, so we're not quick. No, foul play, foul play. Leg lift.
Nick Morrell spotting that, well, that's that copybook infringement that the NRL detailed at the start of the season, the lifting of the leg and then rotating to slow down the play of the ball. Brown, here's Jamie Chapman at an angle. Well handled by Breechester and Banu. Lily Rose Kolk on for Elliston. And she loses the ball right in front of the line, picking it up gleefully.
Wow, that was a huge error there. We're just 30 seconds away from going into half-time. If Titans could go into half-time with some more points on the scoreboard, it could be a completely different game when both teams come out in this second half. They're probably not going to get another chance to attack their line, so they just have to be very solid in defence here and get themselves into the sheds at half-time.
Yeah, it was a bit of a tough one there. Jessica Ellison had such a great run, and it looked like on that replay maybe she was stripped with 2 in the tackle, but great for the Cowboys.
Well, she makes up to 200 metres runs a game, so we'll give her the benefit of the doubt that she's probably too tired to even say what happened.
A final play of the game, or the half. Final play of the half is a charge from S.A. Banu as Kira Dibb encourages her team. They've found the lead against Jamie Chapman and the Titans. It is 2 tries to 1. North Queensland on track to defend their home ground, Queensland Country Bank Stadium. It's hot, as that picture attests. Riley Jorgensen going for the ice pack for a different reason. Warm conditions in North Queensland. We're at Queensland Country Bank Stadium as the Cowboys come back for the second half. 10-4 leaders against last year's beaten grand finalists, the Gold Coast Titans. Lauren Brown and her team need a better second half. You look at the numbers there in the first half. Corbin Baxter, Sammy Bremner. What jumps off the page at you there? It's fairly even, as the scoreboard suggests.
I love that. I love that it's an even game of football. 50-50 possession, completions almost the same. Missed tackles, like you rarely see that, right?
Yeah, you do. It's going to show that it's such a great battle today, and I think North Queensland have done well to get 6 points ahead with such even stats.
Now the referee about to blow time back on. It's Nick Pelgrave, not Nick Morrell. So another little scheduling adjustment that's called us out, as the Titans are caught out on the full from the kickoff. So Lauren, just switch back on, get back into footy mode, because there's an unexpected error to start this second half.
Yeah, really unlike Lauren to do something like that. She usually nails those ones, but not how you want to start the staff, and I'm sure she'll do something to make up for it here.
Absolutely.
S.A. Banu, so I'm sure Nick Morrell will gratefully receive your praise in the first half. So we'll divert that to Nick Pelgrave, who did a really good job in the first 35 minutes. And we'll get that programming spot on in future weeks.
Where do you want this rugby challenge? Just challenging the decision knock on?
And the challenge here early in the second half. It's been called knock on.
Captain's challenge. Tackle 1. Cowboys disputing the decision.
Didn't appear to be a knock on in that replay. Let's see if there's something that we've missed as we throw it over to Wyatt Raymond in the bunker.
S.A. Banu loses control of the ball and uses the defender's back to try and attempt to negate the knock on. The challenge is unsuccessful.
So the challenge goes in the bin. S.A. Banu a little frustrated.
Do you know what I love about the captain's challenge? You know when you go bowling and you hit a strike and you've got to get a good, you have a good face when you turn around and see the audience? I feel like it's the same with the captain's challenge. When you lose it and the camera goes on your head.
I've not heard 10-pin bowling used in reference to the captain's challenge until now. It's a very good point as we see Shaylee Bent spin back towards the middle of the field. Now Elliston. Brown. He's bent. Stopped by Palata. Assisted by Manzelman. Kolk at dummy half. Now Hale. Banu races up, but Hale spins away from the middle forwards. Manzelman coming again to go down around the ankles. And the inside ball for Paliti is called forward.
Oh, unlucky there, because that looked really nice by Lauren Brown. Interesting start to this second half. I think that's 3 errors just in the first 2 minutes. So both teams will be looking to get on top of that and just find a bit of groove going into the second half.
I like the movement of Ivania Politi because she swings both sides of the ruck. It's very hard to get a defender on her. So she started on the right-hand side of the field then and then came late to the left-hand side of the field for that little inside ball. But it looks good. If they can get that pass a little flatter, that is going to be a really good opportunity.
Jakaya Whitfield bumps away from the would-be tackle from Fui Mayono, playing in that edge forward role. Talisha Harden rolls her sleeves up through the middle. Playing her 31st NRLW game, Harden. Banu, plenty of go forward after contact. So the last here, and it's Dibb with that trademark kicking style. End over end, down towards the backwards, taken by Gray. Up above her face, under pressure from Whitfield. That's a good take.
Yeah, that's a great take.
Good, Sammy.
She's making it look a lot easier than it is. The sun is obviously right in the girls' eyes. Then you can tell by the hands movements. They got their hands right in front of their face until the very last minute. So yeah, Gray definitely made that look easier than what it would be.
Georgia Gray in her first season of NRLW. The development player elevated to the top 24 after her impressive pre-season. So well done, Georgia Gray. Certainly showing herself to be at home in NRLW ranks. Strong carry, Jess Elliston. Colt to Brown. And her kick is taken on the full by Libby Surha. Surha stopped by Hale. Georgia Hale's tackling 43 per game. It's 10 clear of her closest rival in terms of tackles per game. What an engine she has.
An absolute engine. I think she's made more tackles in this game than I have in my whole career.
I'm waiting for a captain's challenge tomorrow with you calling for it. I'm demanding every camera get on your face, especially if it's a failed captain's challenge.
Yeah, that's it. It's got to be a failed one, and then you got to bite your lip and carry on.
Harden with the offload for Fran Goldthorpe. Desperate tackle from Montgomery, an important one. They're on the front foot, the Cowboys, and Dibb. Another offload. Again, it's Goldthorpe who spots an opening. Fran Goldthorpe pushed backwards. But they're camped on their line, the Titans. Dibb, the grubber, the no-look grubber, perfectly weighted till it was there. And it's a desperate kick from Brown to force the ball dead.
Really strong set there. How good was that kick?
Kira Dibb does well when she's not looking. She's the best footballer at being pretty much blindfolded. A no-look pass, now a no-look kick. But yeah, like you said, Corby, what a great finish to a good set.
Yeah. Kira, I think when she runs the ball, she looks so dangerous, and then she just added a little offload there and had the Titans' right edge just a little bit shocked, and they were on the line. They were really lucky to make that stop, but that kick, there's no-look passes and then no-look kicks. I've never seen that before.
That was a fantastic kick, just angling perfectly towards a number of Cowboys chasers. It was in the in-goal for an eternity. Now Butler. Manzelman, Harden, and another penalty.
The whole line sets up short.
So offside, Gold Coast, not back to the goal line. Referee Nick Pelgrave all over that.
Yeah, you're on the mark, Emma, when you're ready. Wait for the kick.
Butler again.
Laker, release!
Picked up by Dibb. She goes on for Ralph Smith. Dibb through the hands, Whitfield. Whitfield still going. One try already today for Jakaya. Dibb to Butler. So 2 plays left. Where's the punch coming from? Chester falls over Lauren Brown in the end. And now they're at the last. Manzelman, China Pilata, the crash play. She's put onto her back and can't get the ball down. In the end, it's Lauren Brown underneath the ball.
Thanks, mate. Just on the numbers.
Really great effort there by the Titans defence. I think the Cowboys were throwing a lot at them. They were moving the ball really nicely. It looked like they really wanted to pepper that right edge of the Titans defence with Kira Dibb on the ball. Shifted it right and had a good crack. China Pilata really strong, but that Titans defence even stronger.
Fui Mayano. And just thinking out loud, North Queensland can't get a breach notice for Butler playing in the wrong jersey when the wrong referee was on the list. Straight back at you, we'll say the Cowboys if NRL comes knocking. Nick Pelgrave doing a good job in charge. Harada Butler doing a good job in jersey 18, not 23.
Stand, square, front foot.
Hale goes through Brown. Politi. Just the 3 tackle busts so far in this game, repeating she had 18 last time they met. Brown's kick out on the full again. So Lauren's radar post half-time a little askew.
Yeah, absolutely. Like you said earlier, Corbs, we don't really see this from Lauren Brown. She's usually got quite a lot of composure with how she plays the ball, especially in her kicking game. She knows what she wants to do, but not quite hitting the mark.
The sideline is in the shadows on the western side of the ground.
Which is surprising why she's aiming for that side, to be honest. I would think as a kicker, you're going wherever the sun is. But the Cowboys did the exact same thing in the first half, running that way. They kicked towards that left-hand side of the field. So Lauren Brown doing the same for the Titans.
Butler going on for Lily Peacock. 2 tries to 1. Tallulah Tillett finding Jasmine Peters, who stepped inside Chapman. And across in cover to make the stop, Jess Elliston. Tillett's Manzelman. Here's Peacock through the middle of the ground. She straightens into the tackle from Kolk. Tillett, Palata, good tackle, Gold Coast. They combined to crunch the North Queensland edge forward. It was Lauren Brown, Jamie Chapman, and they defend their line.
Yeah, I think that play is right if they've got the option of the fullback out the back. At the moment, it's quite easy to defend. You can see here in the replay that, yeah, quite easy for Jamie Chapman to mark up on that.
Now Politi playing the ball, just the 3 tries. Fran Goldthorpe for North Queensland in the 7th minute. Georgia Gray for the Titans in the 14th. And Jakaya Whitfield at the half-hour mark. The offload back to Kolk. It came from Laker Clark. Here's Shannon Martor on the move. Straight into Chester. Chester's tackle count up above 20. The kick from Montgomery goes along the ground, and the bounce for Goldthorpe was tricky. She did well, and is stopped just in the field of play. So some tough carries coming up for the Cowboys.
What a great kick from Montgomery. She's a debutante today, and that is a perfect kick. Get them into the corner, and this defence just to back it up to keep the Cowboys stuck down here in their own half, right in this corner. Could be the set to build pressure, potentially for the Titans to score some points in the next 5 minutes or so.
I couldn't agree more. I think the maturity that Montgomery's playing with is really impressive. She's literally debuting today, and she's put some really nice kicks through and just building pressure. She's not trying to do anything crazy, but it's building pressure, and I think it'll come up really soon for her edge.
Fran Goldthorpe had the most recent carry. There she is, Leilani Montgomery.
Another great kick. Wow.
So the kick taken now by Georgia Gray. It rolled a long way. Politi thought about a long ball, but there was no one there, so she runs towards Emily Bass. Bass bumping away from one. Tallulah Tillett with the tackle. North Queensland chasing their 2nd win of the season. Gold Coast their 3rd. Chapman got the ball away, but in the road, Libby Serha comes up with the ball. Butler and North Queensland straight back on the attack.
Straight up.
Been a big week for North Queensland with Tallulah Tillett extending until 2025. This is Libby Peacock with the carry. Bree Chester until 2026, so a couple of extensions for key Cowboys. Dibb. Whitfield has to clean up. A loose pass. Jakaya Whitfield. Peacock again. Earlier, a thriller. Brisbane beating Canberra 28-22 after scores were locked with only a few minutes to play. Dibb. Now Goldthorpe on the outside. Blackwell goes unused. Goldthorpe, well, the whistle sounded as she released the ball. Maybe luckily, she could have been penalised perhaps for passing off the grounds. Nick Pilgrave's whistle sounds simultaneously, and they hand it over.
Yeah, the Cowboys look like they've got a little bit more energy than the Titans. I feel like that comes from having a bit more possession. And I think that'll start to eat away, but that penalty there for Titans, they'll be after that. They just, I don't know, they're just going through a little bit of a lull the last 5 minutes. They'll probably be looking towards their big players, Jamie Chapman, Vani Polite, to do something a little bit special and get the ball down the other end. But they need some more ball position and on the field so that they can, you know, look for some good ball attack and get into this Cowboys defence.
So a penalty there, and I expected, yes, she has. Bree Chester on report straight away. Talia Fuimaono mouthed hip drop, and the replay, well, it didn't look good. So the match review committee Martor quick play the ball. Brittany Brayley-Nardi on the front foot. They send it to the left. Here it is for Chapman. Ball away. She misses the mark again. Emily Bass can only watch it roll over the sideline. It is close. It is close for the Titans. They just can't execute.
They look so good when they play off the back of the quick play the balls. They play flat and fast and they get the ball to Jamie Chapman. But Jamie Chapman, we've seen in the last 3 times that she's had the ball, has just pushed the pass, which she doesn't need to do. Jamie Chapman gets so many people in the tackle. It takes 2 to 3, sometimes 4 people to get her to the ground. If she can just get to a play the ball then and they play off the back of that, they'll have numbers somewhere because half of the team is on the ground who've just tackled Chapman. So just a patience thing, I think. They're eager to get over that line, just need to be a little bit more patient.
That's what you get with those players that are so used to breaking the line. Sometimes when they don't, they feel like they need to continue that break and play. And yeah, it's just a little bit of patience and playing off the back of it. But we know what she can do. If she can get that pass away, then that'll be huge for her team.
What about me giving advice to someone who takes 4 people to get down and someone just has to flick me in the knee and I'm down?
Come on, don't be too modest. Sarika Muka with another strong carry. Now it's just dropped by Tillett. I was about to give North Queensland a rap for their go forward and they come up with an error. But still, they're outrunning Gold Coast today, and that has been a problem for them. They come into the game last in the league for run metres. And against the likes of Elliston and Martor, you wondered what sort of struggle they might have today. Well, North Queensland actually have more run metres than the Titans, and in the next few minutes should soar past their season average with the best part of 15 minutes to play. So on that front, they have improved today. Averaging a tick over 1,000 run metres per game. Here it opens up for Gray. Down the eastern sideline, Georgia Gray. Eventually caught by Goldthorpe. Now a penalty. Jakaya Whitfield in the tackle and forcing the ball free in the eyes of referee Pelgrave.
You're offside, Jakaya.
Oh, offside was the ruling.
You're offside, 10 metres. Tap and kick. There you go.
No, not clearing ruck quickly enough, and then he just told you got to get back or you're offside.
This is what the Titans need, though. It's been a little while since they've been down this end of the field. If they can be patient and work towards a really good last play, hopefully they can get some more points on the board.
Emma, off the green!
All the way.
Looking to lock the game up here. Gold Coast through Hale. Now Brown. Shaylee Bent.
Short! Off the ball!
Well, a penalty again goes to North Queensland. Back-to-back.
Just wait, we're inside 10, so it's
Goes to the Gold Coast Titans, my correction.
Let's go,
So a
Loz.
couple in a row to the Titans. Martor put in a big bear hug by Muka.
Release!
Brayley Narty long through Hale. Here's Montgomery in that halves position. Politi goes to the brakes and can't clear her way from Breechester, aided by Kira Dibb. Only tackle 3. And now another penalty.
Yeah, there's 2 ruck penalties, and then the whole line sets up in front of me. There you go.
Hale tackled by Muka. How do they handle this pressure? All this possession for the Titans. Montgomery. North Queensland handling it okay so far. Clark, Laker Clark, held by Peacock. They go for depth and find Hale, Brown. Brown holding the ball, now bent. And Charlie goes back to her half. No way through. North Queensland's goal line defence holding firm. Still 2 plays left. Hale to Martor, who looks for the offload and gets one away. Laker Clark. Clark dives for the in goal. Laker Clark, all the possession pays off eventually. And they have a try. 10-8 kick to come to level us up at Queensland Country Bank Stadium.
Yeah, Titans doing really well there. Laker Clark getting over. She looks like she's in a little bit of pain, but Titans through everything. You see that play from Lauren Brown and Jamie Chapman running that late X. The Cowboys obviously did their homework because they kept them out on that left edge, but the forwards getting it done. Shannon Martor just running hard, getting a little offload and just brute power by Laker Clark to get over with 3 Cowboys defenders on top of her.
Yeah, they did such a good effort, and I think all eyes were really on Lauren Brown because that has been the majority of the Titans' points come off the back of Lauren Brown, either kicking the ball, getting Chapo to run that drifter line back on the inside, but it was the forward pack who got some points for the Titans, and rightly so, because they have worked so hard in Laker Clark, Elliston, Marto, so 1 for the forwards, well deserved.
Laker in her 4th season at the Titans. Played in the BMD Premiership this year with the Tweed Seagulls. Only the 3 games of NRLW last season, but she'll be enjoying this game time early in 2024. Laker Clark, 10-all. The conversion successful. Look at it again, the offload opening up the opportunity. It's Shannon Martor. Strong again, her 2nd offload for the game. The NRL Telstra Premiership Footy Country Series. What an initiative this is, celebrating and supporting rugby league communities in regional Australia. Pioneered by Telstra, it connects and supports country footy. We're off to Bundaberg after this for Canterbury up against the Dolphins. Very much part of footy country. Head to NRL.com.au for more as we look at this return from the person who set up the try, Shannon Martor.
Just an easy 30 metres off the kickoff.
And caught it on the ball.
That carry sees her run meters balloon again past her season average. "14 minutes left, 10-all in Townsville. We will come later on for NRL action. Cowboys against the Raiders. The second of 3 NRL games this afternoon and tonight on Fox League. Good carry again. There's Politi standing strong. Brown back to Martor. 160 run meters. Couple of tackle busts, 2 offloads. And now the grubber. getting there, almost. Chapman just couldn't get the ball to ground. Fran Goldthorpe knocked the ball free and has picked up a knock in her efforts.
Huge effort from Fran Goldthorpe to get there. Looked like for all money, Chapo was going to get there first, but she just got a fingertip to it, landed right on that tailbone maybe.
Fingertip was enough to misplace that ball out of Jamie Chapman's hands, so really well done from Fran Goldthorpe. Hope her tailbone is okay. You might need that to run.
The crowd invited to get behind their team as Breachester plays the ball. Here's Delisha Harden.
Georgia, move! Square Laker, wait!
Big 12.5 minutes for the home team. At 1 and 2, they'd love to get back to 50%. Complete the first month with an even split. Gianna Ralphstrand-Smith. Dib off the right foot, back towards the short side. Here's Whitfield. It's the last as reminded by the referee Nick Pelgrave, and they'll change it over.
Just these extra efforts from Georgia Hale, something probably we won't see much of or talk much of, but I just want to point out that Talia Fiumano shoots out of the line there to put pressure on Kira Dibb's kick, and Georgia Hale comes from the middle of the field all the way over to the right-hand side to defend at centre.
Yeah.
Just that extra effort so that Ja'Kai Whitfield can't break through that line.
Just trying to add to that tackle count, I reckon. As if she doesn't make enough.
Mator again.
She's sitting at 34, Corb, so she'd be hungry for 50. That'll be a quiet day for her.
For real.
Hale, the offload. Jess Elliston back onto the ground now. Politi. Shaylee Bentz tried to position Chapman, and again, Emily Bass. Hasn't she received balls behind her, above her, everywhere but where she needs it in front of her?
Yeah, that's exactly right. Is it the height difference? Can we blame it on that?
Let's do that. They've looked threatening down that left edge many times. It's just been just a little off pass or a touch by the Cowboys defence that's slowing them down. So credit to their defence, but they are looking damaging, and I think they should continue to look down that edge.
Yeah, I think it's Libby Serha. She is very good at getting right up in that passing lane, which is making them second guess.
Here come the Titans. Mator thought about passing and then thought, no, what do? I run straight, I run hard, I clock up the metres. There are some more. Here's Politi. Varney Politi flashes onto the ball, and look how close she's gone.
Hold there, Francesca. Wait!
Brayley Nardi out of dummy, half turned onto her back.
Good defence.
They're desperate, and it does the job.
Time's out, it's out 10.
Yeah.
Time's out.
Hookers can't help themselves but to take those opportunities. Brittany Browley's been around for a long time and would have backed her in, but that Cowboys defence were nice and tight around the ruck and did a really good job to hold her up there.
Some water required. Fran Goldthorpe still with a hobble after that knock a few moments ago. Last play, Brown shaped a kick, then went to Chapman. 3 defenders on Jamie, and still she backs away towards the in goal. Tackle complete, right smack bang on top of the goal line.
Yeah, they've been up for it, this right edge defence of the Cowboys. Lauren Brown and Chapo trying to throw everything at them. I'm really, really impressed. I think Titans, when Lauren puts a ball on her toe for that little grubber, that could be the way to get through, but they're always looking threatening. But yeah, really impressed with that right side of the Cowboys defence.
Hold, just tangle, it's a strong tackle.
So we roll inside the final 10. We're locked together at 10.
Jess, to the side, right side.
The Titans do have Lauren Brown, 2 career field goals at NRLW level. That's not including her Origin heroics earlier this season. Delisha Harden puts it down, and they invite Gold Coast, the visitors, to roll up fields. She's frustrated with herself, this leader, the co-captain in this North Queensland lineup, Delisha Harden. From the Broncos to the Roosters, back to the Broncos, and now a Cowboy. She's come up with an error there. Will there be a price to pay? It comes for Politi. Just one of the Gold Coast danger players. Now singled out by Ricky Henry, the North Queensland coach this week. Lauren Brown, Avania Politi. So we need to work hard from the inside, make our individual tackles, and they have pretty well today, North Queensland. Elliston. Stopped by Manzelmann and Peacock. Hale for Martor, who came from depth and rolls within a metre or two. Stopped by Chester. Montgomery through the hands, Fui Mayono out to a wing, and Gray goes very close, but he's just short. Georgia Gray takes tackle 5. Montgomery, the kick, and it's sat up, and it was gathered eventually. Great work by the Cowboys. And it was Crystal Blackwell in position and with sure hands eventually.
Yeah, she did a good job there of returning the ball. She wasn't too happy with the last effort in the tackle, but the play goes on.
So now a high tackle call on Libby Surha. Kaya Whitfield taps and goes. Of course, Kira Dibb, her kicking, we know how dangerous she can be. She's had a successful field goal in NRLW. From memory, it came at Belmore Sports Ground. She's trying to be corrected there, but she has certainly kicked an NRLW field goal. If we get in that sort of range, both in terms of territory and their thinking, as we count down to forwards full time.
But we have had an emphasis on how good the kicking game has evolved, Maddie, so wouldn't it be fitting if we went into Golden Point and seen a field goal?
Only the 3 Golden Point games in the history of NRLW. Manzelmann goes deep. Here's Kira Dibb looking for one. She drills it into an upright and gets it to go over. Kira Dibb, what a strike. And the accuracy, well, it was close enough.
Sure was. And I love that she has gone for it. And, you know, there's still 5.5 minutes. You could think, let's go for the try, but I think it takes that pressure off. You might not have that line defensive pressure as she's trying to kick it over, which is really smart. I mean, she hit the post and got over, but she'll take it, and she's got her team 1 point up. Still 5 minutes to go. Lots of time for a try either side, but I like that.
I like that too, Corbs. It's been a while since they've scored some points, so you're right, a little bit less pressure on the kick there, and I wouldn't say there's breathing room now, but all they have to do really is keep the ball down the other end and defend them as hard as they can down there.
The short kickoff, it was touched by Jamie Chapman, I think, knocked on, she couldn't regain, so 0 tackle as the ball is collected by Emma Manzelmann. And they'll eat into this clock a bit more. Kira Dibb, what a great strike. Got plenty of the ball. So yes, my memory was right. She kicked that field goal against Newcastle at Belmore last year. Another one today. And does that 1 point get her 2 premiership points? Here's Talisha Harden. Gold Coast will get more ball. At least 2 sets, you'd imagine. What's their thinking when they have the ball? Do they go to their middle forwards and roll into a field goal position, or go for the winner, the try? Here's Dibb, high, out towards Gray on a wing. Backpedaling, Georgia makes the catch, and Whitfield is there to make the tackle.
Whitfield could have tackled 2 girls at once there. I just love watching her, both in attack and defence. Such a competitor. this defensive set is extremely important. They don't want any of the Titans to get field position here, so to keep them down in this end of the field is really important for the next 3 minutes of football.
Right, Wenda Martor and Elliston pour onto the ball. For the time being, it's Emily Bass. That's tackle 4, though. They're well short of halfway. Nowhere near field goal territory here. Politi. Crossfield. Here's Martor. And an offload. Back to Politi. Shaylee Bent has it. Chapman did the right thing and dropped underneath, but went unused. Final play. Politi down the short side. Where's the support? Now the offload. Bass dives to the ball, takes the final tackle. And the back end of that set was a little awkward for the Titans.
Yeah, I think Varney thought she had a winger pushing up with her, taking on that short side, realised there wasn't, and then sort of just threw a miracle pass out. Unfortunately, I'm not sure where Bass was there. She maybe dropped back.
There's plenty of time on the clock still. It would have been great to see a little kick to the corner, real big defensive set, and then get the ball back. They still would have had a chance to attack the line. That just made it a little bit hard for themselves now, but never say die. There's only 1 point in it, just under 3 minutes to go. Great game of football so far.
Now Crystal Blackwell not resting on their 1 point lead with 2.5 left. Harden. Dib, the pass was forward to Tiana Raff-Strand-Smith. Was that the break the Titans needed? It was only just beyond their 20-metre zone, so still a long way to go. Just repeating straight after this. Von Sampson, Cooper Cronk, Mal Meninga will set the scene for our first NRL game of the afternoon, also from Queensland. A little further south than where we are currently, Bundaberg, a Canterbury home game against the Dolphins, big in the context of the top 8 for both teams. Dogs, Dolphins next on Fox League. Brown. Now Politi hits the brakes and goes back infield. Brayley Narty, Elliston. Good tackle again, up top from Chester with Peacock drifting down around the ankles. Chester leading North Queensland's tackling count with 32.
Stand up, square, hold, hold.
Here's Georgia Hale. That's only tackle 3. What does Lauren Brown want from her team? Elliston. Manzelman tackling doggedly along with China Palata. Here's Georgia Hale. They come short side. Brown, Chapman able to wind up and get a ball away. Politi held by the coattails. Her pass goes to Bass. Bass, only 8 metres out, takes tackle 5. Now Brayley Narty, Lauren Brown looks at her target and misses. She pulls it to the left.
There was absolutely no pressure on Lauren Brown there, and you would think she was only 11 metres out. There'd be a little bit more pressure. Maybe 2 passes to get Lauren in the better position to get right in front of the goalpost there would have been a better option.
Karen Murphy doesn't like it. Lauren Brown goes to her haunches. It sums up her second half. She had the kickoff after half-time out on the full. Another kick in general play out on the full. And there's a shot for field goal that she pulls left of the target.
Yeah, I think they were scrambling so well in attack and maybe thought that the try was going to come. Didn't really have that field goal in mind, just from looking at where the setup was, a bit left to the post. So a really tough one for Lauren there. But yeah, usually you see her get those. It's just been a little bit off her kicking game just in the second half, but a really tough one.
Now angling towards the one-on-one strip, but good ball security. Jasmine Peters. Talisha Harden likewise, putting the ball in the safe. Now Peacock. Seconds remaining. Emma Manzelman goes it alone out of dummy half, takes the tackle, and North Queensland, the Cowboys, under coach Ricky Henry, defend Queensland Country Bank Stadium. 2 from 2 at home in 2024. Kira Dibb, Emma Manzelman, the leaders stood up, but it's the halfback Dibb who proves the difference, drilling a late field goal to beat the Titans 11-10.